Hi, I'm Brianna, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, once again, it looks like Terrence Crawford may finally have an invitation to the PBC welterweight party. Ever since Terrence Crawford moved to welterweight, he's been calling out all of the best welterweights in the division. And now, Shawn Porter may be the first PBC welterweight fighter to give Terrence Crawford the opportunity that he's been looking for. Right after Shawn Porter gave Errol Spence his toughest fight as a pro, Shawn Porter's father and trainer, Kenny Porter, he said if we can't get the Errol Spence rematch, we want Terrence Crawford. In return, Bob Arum, he said that's the fight they want to make next for Terrence Crawford. So everything sounds good. Terrence Crawford, he said, look, if this fight doesn't happen, it's not going to be because of Bob Arum and Al Heyman. It's going to be because the two fighters could not agree to all terms. So what Terrence Crawford is basically saying is all it takes is for him to say yes and for Shawn Porter to say yes. Now, Terrence Crawford, he admitted that he hasn't talked to Porter or Team Porter yet. He said he's not really even thinking about that fight. But like I said in my last video, that should be all that Terrence Crawford should be thinking about, is making that Shawn Porter fight. Now, more recently, after Terrence Crawford stopped Kyle Velasquez, Kenny Porter, he said, we're waiting on a phone call. Just give me the phone call. He's basically saying they're waiting for Bob Arum or Terrence Crawford to call them up and start the negotiations. Once again, I want to stress this point because I don't understand exactly what Terrence Crawford meant when he said, I'm not even thinking about that fight. Maybe he's just saying, look, Bob Arum's going to take care of everything. But I think that Terrence Crawford, he needs to make sure that this fight happens, because this is what Terrence Crawford has been asking for the longest, which is to once again start fighting all of the PBC fighters and prove that he's the best welterweight in the world. He won't be able to do that if he lets this opportunity pass him by. This is the perfect fight for Shawn Porter and Terrence Crawford, because it puts both fighters, if they win this fight, it puts them in position to land an Errol Spence fight or whoever is at the top of the welterweight division. We already know Shawn Porter, he wants to rematch with Errol Spence. If he were to beat Terrence Crawford, then there's no doubt he would most likely get a rematch with Errol Spence. If Terrence Crawford beats Shawn Porter, there's a very good chance that promotes the Errol Spence fight even more. And it would put more pressure on other PBC fighters like Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, to possibly get in the ring with Terrence Crawford if he were to win that fight. I mean, remember, there was a time when Danny Garcia, he wanted nothing to do with an Errol Spence fight. But because Errol Spence, he kept winning and he got in the ring with the likes of Shawn Porter and other fighters, that forced fighters like Danny Garcia to say, I'm gonna have to get in the ring with this guy. And if Terrence Crawford were to beat Shawn Porter, it would put him in a similar position that Errol Spence was put in, because now the guy to beat right now is Errol Spence. So this is the reason why I say it is extremely important for Bob Arum and Terrence Crawford to do whatever it takes to make this fight come to fruition. So far, Shawn Porter is the only PBC fighter that is completely open to facing Terrence Crawford next. So Terrence really needs to take advantage of this situation before it's too late. Hopefully, we hear some news in a couple of weeks that this fight is done. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.